Hello, I'm Tony. In this podcast, I interview foreigners and tutors to talk about their cultures, their thoughts on Taiwan's bilingual policy, and share teaching and learning tips. Let's get started with today's episode. Our topic today comes from the Bible. Love others as yourself. We're joined by our friend Emma, and here is our conversation. Emma, let's talk about what loving others as yourself means in real life. What does this phrase mean to you?
I think with this verse or with this article, it pushes us to go beyond selfishness and think about the needs and feelings of others. Just as we seek our own well-being and happiness, we are called to actively seek the well-being of others. So I think this kind of love requires patience, understanding, and sometimes sacrifice, because I believe that showing the true love is not just about the feeling, it's also an action. That action that will mirrors how we care for ourselves.
That's why when I go to church, the pastor also say if you read a lot of verse and you say you understand the love in God, but you don't really make any actions, and your love doesn't work.
Okay. I really like this kind of article. It teaches us a lesson that when we care for someone, we also need to care for ourselves first. Like we cannot give something to other people if we also lacks. I mean, if we are also lack of that kind of thing. So before we give, we always have to check ourselves. So if we have enough, we can share it to other people. I think that's compassion, and that's something that we can do in a natural way. The way we give ourselves should also be the same thing as how we care for other people.
Do you think that's very difficult for normal people to really work on that? Because human nature is actually selfish.
I think that thing is quite so challenging for those people who are not used to show care, compassion, and respect to other people. But if you are naturally born compassionate, you're naturally born kind and caring, it's not so difficult to practice.
So, what does the phrase mean to you personally?
Does
Yeah. What does this phrase mean to you personally?
actually, as what I mentioned a while ago, more of treating others the way you treat yourself. And that is why there's also a statement from Confucius, one of the philosopher. He said that don't do unto others what you don't like others will do unto you. So I think it's good if you will show kindness, care, and respect to others equally, the same respect that you give to yourself. Yeah, so that is for me the meaning of the verse.
And can you share a story from your life where you practice this kind of love?
Well, I won't be hypocrite. It's really hard to show kindness, care, and respect to those people who hurt you or something who have sinned against you. But I think as an individual who is also not perfect, in other words, story of mine, which I can say I show some practices or some kind of love is when one of my relatives is doing something bad before in our family, but I still forget those things and I just help them out. I mean, I help them, our family helped them, even though that was the thing that they had done for us long time ago. So yeah, for me, it's okay if you know people are imperfect; they are not perfect. But actually, that was really against my will. Like my ego was really knocking me not to do that thing because they have sinned against us. But knowing that their situation is like this. So yeah, I just think of just letting go of the past and do something that can help other people. So by caring, by helping, it's already a form of love for me.
So I think every family has their own affair, and it's hard to judge others what is their life. Uh, yeah,
Yes, I agree with that. And we all need this kind of thing. Nowadays, a lot of people have been experiencing different dilemmas, different problems, different struggles and hustles. So I think it's time for us to always open our mind, think about caring, think about respecting them or having a compassion of what they have been experiencing nowadays. And by that, we can be able to help people, surpass or let's say shame them that they could survive or they can cope up with this kind of struggles that they are in right now. So yeah, it's a very nice reminder to all of us.
yeah. So the loving other as yourself mean to you? I think. Do you think it's important to take care of yourself first?
Sorry.
So, why is it important to take care of ourselves first? It's really matter for ourselves.
Really important to take care of ourselves because if we don't do that, it will also be our loss. Like we lack focus, we'll be out of direction, we'll lose our direction if we don't take care of ourselves. Our goal will be affected as well. Our plans, our daily routine will also be affected. So I believe that you cannot give something to someone else, you cannot share something to someone else if you also don't care about yourself. So yes, it's important to always check ourselves first before we help others.
Yeah, I totally agree with you. We need to take care of ourselves because we say loving others yourself is other times yourself. So you try to love others. So next one is what challenge do people face when trying to love others this way?
Okay, I'll go back to the question, how can we create a culture where the principle is lived out? You mean?
Kind of.
Okay, how can we create a culture where principle principle is lived out, right? That's the question. Of course, still hard for me because I'm always inside our house. And what I do usually is just doing virtual classes and virtual jobs. But we can create a culture where this principle is lived out by leading through example. Yeah, we should show through our action or by example. We really want to show kindness, empathy, and respect in our everyday actions. It should start from small things. So if we know how to listen, if we know how to understand others without judging them first, if we know how to help those who are in need, if we treat everyone with equality or fairness. So, whenever we are in schools, homes, communities, we always need to promote the values of compassion and service. We have to encourage everyone to open up things that they would like to open up. So, open communication is very important. And at the same time, if we want to avoid conflict, then we should resolve this conflict peacefully. And aside from that, let's also celebrate diversity. So, with this kind of things can help build an environment where people feel valued and loved. So, when love becomes part of our daily choices, it influences others and slowly shapes a culture grounded in genuine care for one another.
I totally agree with you. That's why we need to create the cultures in the society because nowadays the people would tend to just care about their own benefits. It's kind of like pretty general nowadays. So it's actually take a lot of time to build that kind of culture to have the compassion to others. Yeah. So what's the finally maybe we can do some before we end the this audition we can do the Bible verse reflection. So maybe would you help us to read the Mark 12 chapter 12 and the verse 31st?
Sure. Verse 31, love your neighbor as yourself. There's no commandment greater than these.
So
Wow, that's a very nice verse. 12
yeah,
verse 31.
yeah, it's a very nice verse. So Emma, how do you interpret this verse in context of being a language teacher or learners?
Okay, that's a very nice question. So how can I align this to my job,
Yeah,
language teacher, right?
yeah, or you can
All
apply
right.
for others aspects, or you want to apply
Yeah,
for your
actually,
career.
as a language teacher, it's easy. Yeah, because I think that teachers are born to be compassionate. Like, who wouldn't disagree with that, right? So, I mean, no one would actually disagree when I said that most of the teachers are really compassionate, affectionate, loving, caring, and approachable. So, as a language teacher, this verse challenges me to love my students and colleagues the way I love myself, by being patient, by being respectful, by being genuine, by being a support and good support system in their learning journey, and of course to my workmates as well. So we have, or I have to create a safe and inclusive classroom where every learner feels heard, valued, and encouraged. Just as what I want to grow and be understood, I should help my students find their voice and express themselves confidently in English. Loving others as myself also means going the extra mile, being kind in correction, showing empathy and struggles, and celebrating each student's progress. By doing so, I I develop a culture of care, not just learning, and help build a kind of community where love and language both thrive.
I see. So have you ever encountered some student they are pretty weird or their attitude is a little bit rude during the class? How you adjust your mindset to deal with that?
Well, apparently, this is not their case because I believe that there are really students who will test your patience. There are really students who will knock you down and eventually will really grease your potential of getting angry to them. But as a teacher, I need to always keep in mind that it's very important not to let those behaviors change you or change the way you show compassion and love to students. So I believe that as a language teacher, I must see to it that I so much patient and I should be responsive to this kind of behaviors, but in a professional way and a friendly way, which won't which won't lead to conflict, which won't lead to traumas, but I hope this would lead to a culture, to a community wherein discipline, rules, care is valued, and respect is understood.
I see. That's wonderful. I think you are quite positive. So why you can like bear a lot of pressure and the challenge. All right, so before we close the class, maybe we can pray some closing prayer and then end the lesson. So I can read that. Okay, so maybe I can lead a prayer. So would you mind?
Yes.
Okay. Dear God, thank you for reminding us to love others with the same care we give ourselves, helping us to live out this love in action with kindness, patience, and compassion. May we be messengers of your love in our families, schools, and communities. In Jesus' name we pray. Amen. That's a wonderful class, and thank you so much, Emma. So I wish you have good sleeping, right? Yeah.
Yeah, thank you also, sir. I like the topic. Thank you for sharing this one. I think I can also relate and share this one to my student in the future. Well, I have class with them tomorrow, so yeah. I'm so excited actually this month because most of my regular students will be coming back to tutorial class in the center. So I might share this one to them. And that is something that I really like when I share something to them. And then when I ask them, what about you? How can you apply these things to yourself? And when I see that they can apply it through actions to this particular thing, I'm really grateful and proud. Like I'm always telling that teaching is not just about earning money. It's about having an influence. And how will you make that how can you be a good impact, a good influence to your students? So yeah, this kind of thing is really a very, very say interesting topic to share to my students. Yeah. I hope they
Same.
can also apply this one to themselves, right?
Yeah.
So that is why I don't quit ESL. Because to be honest, I'm into ESL right now. Not just to ESL, but I'm also working in a language center and ESL. So I've learned so much from both worlds, from both setup, and it really helps me also to share so many things in the class with my Filipino students. And this is a great opportunity. I thank everyone for letting me join this kind of
Yeah.
environment.
Yeah, I think you are a very experienced teacher, and I think the way you went through, I think actually for some reason God really want to equip you to become the best your versions for now. Yes, I think that must for some reason. That's why you can have a different aspect of perspective to deliver the class. Yeah.
See, I think yeah, I think you're correct when you say I am an experienced teacher because I
Yeah.
started this job 2016. So I started being a virtual teacher 2016, and until now I'm still here. I love what I'm doing. I mean, sometimes I don't think anymore of the money. Actually thinking about yes, of course we can't deny, we can't be hypocrite that we really need figures. But aside from that, the thing that I mean to my student and the kind of impact I'm giving to them, it's priceless. And I think that's the thing that money cannot replace.
Yes, definitely. Yeah. I really admire your kind of attitude, very positive. Yeah. So,
Yes, sir.
thank you. So, have a nice day. So we can close the meeting now.
Have a great evening, sir.
You too. Have a
Bye.
great. Yeah, bye.